He's mad at me.
Oh my lord.
A little bit of bonus coverage from the Vegas Open. This is not the scratch division. That's TJ Rock, who I think is 12 years old, and right now went double spare next 6, and he's about to wrap up the Las Vegas Open handicap division title over there. Young man who bowls in our regular Mojave Conference handicap division of the West Coast JBT. Didn't have a win yet. And I know they're going to be campaigning to call this a West Coast title now too, since we're here in Vegas. But it's the East Coast JBT that puts on this event. And he continues to strike. Trying to get him and the reaction on camera there. As TJ Rock came to bowl. At the same time over here, that 279 that TJ's bowling would have actually lost over here in scratch as Matt Anderson blasts the 290, which is a score that you've been needing today to beat Chase Nadeau. Chase only, quote unquote, going to be in the 230s. So scores aplenty from the Orleans here as TJ wraps it up, and Chase is going to have to play a second game against Matt to win it. And TJ's one happy man. Mr. Rock's one happy papa over there. You're fine. Thank you. You're fine.
I tried.
I was here all week. We had the TPC last week, and then we had this tournament this week. Every single day down at Sunset Station, TJ was practicing, gearing up again for another tournament, and practice has paid off. One more strike for a 279 final game. There's the shot. Why not? Oh, wow. So you add in his handicap, that's roughly a 372 game. That should be enough to win. Nice high five. Well, right into it, yeah. Big old high fives all around, well deserved there. How about that?
370. Yeah.
No, it wasn't that much. It's a bit of artistic license, a bit of a... Great job, TJ. So back here with what will be the final match of the weekend here. Matt has had to beat Chase twice to win this tournament. He's beaten him once. And he's off and rolling here again in the decider with a strike in the first frame. Yeah, there you go, 12-bagger. Hardly anybody knows that term anymore. Good for you. I'm impressed. My next door neighbor growing up in New Jersey grew up with Andy Verapop. There's that meaningless fact of the day for you, folks. There's the camera. Right on.
Same here.
Any 12 in a row not in the same game. Andy Verapop with 300 for those new school folks watching, and Chase is an upset bowler right now as he slams a solid 9, and the way it's going here, he may have already lost this game as the scores have been astronomical all weekend long. Chase has had the front 11 4 times in 7 days, and right now he's stuck with that solid 9 in the first. And every non-strike is painful right now. Got to be careful and cover up the spares, as these bowlers haven't had to shoot many spares for the last 3 days. They bowled 12 qualifying games, took us just under a 220 average to make that round, and 8 games of mega match play, we call it out west, where they're bowling every other bowler in the field at the same time, which makes your total scores go way up with all the bonus spins, but also is a kind of neat format in that it's really, really fair. In a regular match play, you could bowl the second highest game and not get any bonus spins. In super match play, you get exactly what your game should earn you. And that ball is left the whole way, holds pocket, but doesn't trip out the 4-pin. So you kind of look at these scores backwards. Is now Chase's max score is 279. Not usually the way you look at it, but the potential for big strings out there. kind of how you got to see it right now. Again, don't get lazy on your spares. No trouble at the 4. Spare is trouble against red hot Matt Anderson right now. On 12 in a row overall and 1 in a row to start the title match out. He qualified 4th at plus 365. Decent. Got by 6 seed Team USA member Zach Hattori in the quarters. Got by that rack with no trouble in the second, and got by Cameron Weir, who's the defending runner-up in this event, in the semifinals, having to win 2 games to do so. He was a higher seed against Zach and blasted 266 to get rid of him. Got by Cameron 249 to 201, and then 225 to 196. Cameron was desperate for revenge for his runner-up appearance last year to Cameron Doyle, and it didn't happen. So make it 13 in a row for Matt. Oh, it's your standard everyday 14-bagger for Anderson. As again, the crowd goes wild for this incredible striking display. Look, it's Sunday afternoon. Most of these bowlers and families have been on the road for literally a month plus right now, and they are all bowled out. Get me on a plane, get me in a car, get me away from the sound of falling pins. Not me, of course. We do Desert Open next week, which we hope to see you all at. What's up, Mr. Champion? How you feeling right now? I bet you are. Go cheer on Chase right now, though. Oh, there's a little help tickling that 4. You didn't have to run away. Oh, there he goes. I guess he wanted his camera time.
You feel done. Just want to get that good.
That's right. That's right.
That's the way to do it.
Chases. I hate to say this in the 4th frame, but this, I feel like this is almost a must-strike situation. No problem with that. But check this out. Now that he's doubled, you know, there's a, I don't know if you want to call it flaw, but there's a sort of a hitch in the bowling scoring system. Chase can strike out for 279. He's had 2 spares. Should Matt miss at any point prior to the 10th here, he'll have 1 spare and could max out for only 279. So if you're going to miss, I guess it's slightly advantageous to miss early like Chase did. Oh, and the 4-pin trips for the 15-bagger. Wow. Very rarely do you see strings this long where they're just flush, 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 flush. You got to have the light hits carrying, and every once in a while you got to trip a 4 too. He's got them both going. And it's just about everybody sawed the rack when they hit light. The 4 trips were a little bit less common, so Anderson's got it all rolling for him right now. Forget the 16-bagger. This is for front 5 in the title match. Got to roll. Oh. Oh, wow. And the 15-bagger ends with a thud as 2 things go wrong there. Of course, the string stops, but that's one of the rare times you want a pin to stand up as the 2 falls out of the 2-4-5, leaving the much more difficult 4-5 standing.
You had to make that this week a couple times.
Yeah. You can see buckets crumble occasionally with the good pin action and leave worse things. Very makeable spare. Oh, that did not miss by much, but with that miss, the advantage swings over to Nadeau. If you want to see who wins it, watch part 3.